Let's go.
Hello and welcome back to the Checkpoint Reach podcast. I'm your host Luke Eldon, and today I'm joined by Sud and our special guest Troy, THC. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you guys for having me on the show. Lovely podcast. You guys got a good format, good thing going on here. So happy to be on the show.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Obviously, we had the podcast with Fishy and you commented on it because we were talking about Mass Effect, and I watched your Mass Effect video as well, which was really good. So people should definitely check that out. I'll put a link in the description below, of course, for that. But yeah, that was, you were like, I'd like to come on the podcast. We arranged it and here we are, like 2 weeks later.
Just like that. I was actually surprised at how quick we got it done, just with the whole time difference. But yeah, I'm glad to be here. Am I your first American guest, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. I'll take it. I'm the host of the podcast.
Nice.
Yes, you are. But yeah, so we're glad to have you. And obviously today we're here to discuss the Xbox game showcase that is happening on, this Thursday, so July 23rd. And yeah, we just wanted to give our predictions for the show. So,
is that the proper title for the event? Like, I've been seeing it called so many different things.
Yeah,
Xbox Series X gameplay reveal, like all sorts of different names.
I think they're calling it Xbox Showcase, aren't they? I think
probably
Xbox Game Showcase. I think is kind of what they've been using on Twitter and stuff like that. So
I must admit though, I have been the same, and I've been just looking at different articles. I've seen so many different names for it, but
yeah, I don't know. Constantly, just without being able to call it the E3 2020 briefing.
Yeah.
What do we call it?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so predictions, guys. What are you guys thinking that you might get to see from the event?
Well, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with the obvious ones, or
we might as well start at the obvious?
Okay, so we obviously know Halo, 100%. That's going to be there. We know there's going to be a decent gameplay showing of that. Probably 10-15 minutes. We reckon maybe a demo.
I say we'll definitely get a really long story trailer. Yeah. Like, they set up the story a little bit in these events. We don't really typically see a lot of multiplayer, but I'm really, really keen to see like what the multiplayer is actually going to look like. Because like for me, Halo 5, the story was just, whatever, the campaign, you play it once and you forget about it. But the multiplayer and ranked mode, I could play that all day.
Yeah, I love the Halo 5 multiplayer. I did really enjoy it. I played that with a couple of friends. It was really fun. But the campaign was so forgettable for me.
Honestly,
it just wasn't good. The whole what was it? Do you remember in the trailers when they tried to portray it like the whole lock?
I love the trailers.
As
well. It was like it just never. Didn't happen, did it? It was just.
And the whole intro to the game. Do you remember like the flying cutscene?
Yeah.
Like, is this Halo? What's going on here?
It was weird. It was strange. But to be fair, I mean, you'd hope, wouldn't you? After 5 years of development, they've learned their mistakes. From 4 and 5, to be fair, because 4 had some mistakes. It's strange because for me, I really enjoyed the 4 campaign, but the multiplayer was terrible.
4 wasn't bad on the campaign. Just introducing the Prometheans. Yeah,
Prometheans. Yeah, it
was pretty interesting. A lot of different enemy types.
But then with 5, it was kind of the reverse. The multiplayer was really good and the campaign was bad. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So with Halo 4, like I said, it was a case of the campaign being good, multiplayer being bad, and then obviously the reverse of that was 5's campaign being bad and the multiplayer being really good. I really enjoyed 5's multiplayer. So I'd just like to see an in-between now where they're both good.
Maybe even firefight and something like that, a third kind of mode to even it out. Would be nice.
Maybe Battle Royale, even.
But Halo Battle Royale, I mean, that's a thought. That's a thought. Like high, like Slayer type damage, but in a BR. That would be proper awesome. I'd be here for that. Even though I don't play a lot of BR games. I'll play them like when they first come out and then just kind of, piss off and play something else.
So it's exactly the same, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I played Hyperscape for a day and I don't think I'll ever play that again. Like just came out for Ubisoft.
It's all right. How is that game?
It's all right. The time to kill is like really, 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 really high, and you have to like stack, like your weapons suck at the beginning and you have to continuously pick up the same weapon to make it better. And so the looting becomes like kind of tedious where you're like, oh, this is the 9th time I've picked up the sniper rifle just so I can make it half decent. It's odd. It'll take some balancing before it's like good, but yeah, I don't know about that.
I might give it a go.
It's free and it takes like 2 minutes to download. You might as well.
I'll probably give it a chance.
Doesn't take long at all.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I mentioned the Battle Royale because I just think it wouldn't shock me if this is their sort of big play at trying to get into that market now from a first party standpoint, because, you know, it makes sense with Halo to do it, doesn't it? Obviously, it's the biggest game. You know, Battle Royale. It's still. I know of some people are saying kind of is it some dwindling popularity. It's still massive, isn't it?
Halo 5 being a possible free to play multiplayer standalone. So if they added BR into that, I could see that happening. But like, what do you charge for the campaign and then have multiplayer free to play?
Well, that's been a rumor as well, isn't it? There's that. I have seen that rumor banded about maybe they'll make the Halo multiplayer free, which I think actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, because, you know, the game's essentially for a lot of people going to be free anyway in Game Pass.
I just don't understand how you would price it though. If like the biggest chunk of the game, what people actually play over and over again is free. And then will we get weird microtransactions because of that? Who knows? Possibly,
yeah. I think, you would have to, I think it'd have to be more of a budget price then if you did that, wouldn't you? Wouldn't it?
And I don't see them charging like $30 for a Halo game. That just seems weird.
I know, that does seem strange, but
to have your big number one game not be a full price game. It's a weird predicament, to say the least.
This is the first Halo game that's going to launch on PC as well. So that's going to be massive, I think, for the game. I can see this game breaking all sorts of records on PC.
I mean, I've been playing Halo 3 on PC, like literally right before this podcast. That's what I was doing. And the amount of people that play that on PC now is nuts. You get games of SWAT in like 0.2 seconds.
Nice.
So yeah, that's gonna blow up the internet. Halo 5 or Halo Infinite on PC.
Well, I mean, they're doing a lot of good things on PC. Even Sea of Thieves, which I'm not a big fan of at all. Like, we're not big fans of that loot, really.
Oh well, we tried. We tried,
but it's just not for us.
Can't get over those graphics.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm not the best cooperative player.
Well, having said that, the game is doing amazingly on PC.
Yeah, absolutely blowing up.
They just announced 15 million players, I think, which is amazing, really, for a game like that.
There's nothing to do.
I know.
That's my problem. What do you want me to do?
Still nothing to do on the game, because we went back to it, didn't we? Was it about 2 months ago, Luke?
Yeah, we did. We tried.
To be fair, it was a little bit better than at launch. I will give it that.
Yeah, I'll give it that as well.
Well, they've added like more like pirate treasure and stuff like that, like quests and whatever. But is there anything that you guys are like really hoping for in Halo Infinite that hasn't been announced yet, multiplayer wise? Any one specific thing that you're looking for?
Well, I think for you, Luke, it'd be more the campaign stuff, wouldn't it?
Well, to be honest, as you know, Sud, I'm not a massive Halo fan. I played on the original Xbox, didn't like it then when I got it, and for that reason, I was always a bit hit and miss. But yeah, I probably won't. I don't know if I'll even play it.
You liked Reach, though, didn't you? Halo Reach.
Oh yeah, that is a good point. I did play Reach, and I did like Reach, but that reminds me.
That's why you gave a little smile when I said SWAT. Reach boys, SWAT was the best on that.
Yeah, I did like Reach, actually, weirdly. Awesome. I know it's really weird, but then I tried Halo 5 because I liked the adverts. You know, Hunt the Truth or Find the Truth, whatever it was. Locke versus Master Chief. I thought, interesting premise.
Yeah,
well,
quite.
Yeah, nothing. So, absolutely pointless. And then I was playing it and I just thought, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Is Xbox big in the UK?
Yeah, it's relatively big.
Compared to like... Where I live is like where they make Xboxes.
Yeah,
so
Seattle.
It's kind of the number one thing out here, but like the rest of the world, PlayStation and Nintendo absolutely kick Xbox's butt like over and over.
It's funny because in the UK, in the 360 PS3 era, 360 was dominant.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, it outsold PS3 by quite a lot in the UK, but the PS4 has kind of took back the market in the UK quite a lot. Now, Xbox is still, Xbox is definitely the most popular. I'd say out of all the European countries, it's most popular in the UK. Xbox. I'd say the split is a bit more toward. The split is more towards PlayStation this generation. I don't know, what would you say, Lucas? Probably 60-40 split to PlayStation, maybe?
Yeah, probably. I know it's not the best indicator, but I usually judge it off my real casual gamers, friends.
Yeah,
and like,
that's what you kind of should do.
Yeah, and most of them...
Not everyone's going to have a badass computer.
Yeah, exactly. And most of them back in the day had a 360. And then when the PS4 rolled around, they just all seemed to switch. Like, hardly anyone I know who's a real casual gamer is on the Xbox. So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Sony did just absolutely kill them the last generation with exclusives. Like, it
100%.
wasn't even close. Not even close. God of War, Spider-Man, Last of Us, like Uncharted. It goes on and on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even for me, to be honest, I was a big Xbox. Even maybe fanboy's a bit strong, but I
wouldn't call you a fanboy.
Not quite a fanboy, but I was a big Xbox guy in the 360 days. I played so many games on that system, probably over 500 games. I mean, I played so many. But then, and I got an Xbox One at launch due to the loyalty, really, for Xbox in a way, because I've been with them so long. But
that was a big debate in our friend group, wasn't it?
Yeah,
which one we getting? Oh,
God.
God.
We ended up with Xbox. But after a couple of years, I kind of just naturally migrated towards PlayStation more. I just preferred the exclusives. I even kind of I prefer the interface of the PlayStation as well. I just prefer.
I like how simple it is. Yeah, exactly. It's just like if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Xbox, they're constantly changing it and updating the windows and the tiles. It's like, where even are my settings anymore?
Yeah.
It's like
just stick to a design that's simple. I often think though, I mean, 360 was a fantastic console, but also back then we were younger. So really, we were getting them bought as presents, weren't we, off our parents or whatever, and then you stick into that console. Yeah, we weren't that picky. Whereas like now, it's like Xbox One, it's okay. All right, we'll buy a PS4, like because we can. If you're lucky enough to be able to afford both, then you do. So then it's just like, well, okay, well I end up preferring PS4. I think most people in our friend group anyway did.
Well, that's the interesting thing for me about this event now, because I've chosen that. I've kind of decided I'm going to get a PlayStation 5 this generation at first. Anyway, as my starting console.
I don't think I'll be getting the Xbox, because if everything's coming to PC, it's like
there's no point.
I built a really nice PC, so I'll definitely go do that.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Yeah.
And for me, really, this event, I am still looking forward to it, because I do want to see what Xbox are doing. I want to see how they can get someone like me to maybe go back next generation. But and I'm just interested anyway, because I do have an Xbox. I have an Xbox One X, so I will be able to play a lot of these games on my Xbox One X, because we know for the first couple of years they've said there is not going to be any Series X exclusive. So
nope. Xbox.
Most of these games at the show, I'll be able to play anyway. So it's a win-win for me, really, getting a PlayStation 5.
That is true. I think they are going to be hammering down the whole optimized for Series X, like in this show. Like they're going to be showing off a ton of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And do you guys think we'll get like a release date or a price at this event? Seems about time.
I mean, I want one, obviously, but they're so coy at the moment, both of them.
Do you not think they'll wait for Sony, though, to go first?
Yeah, they're just dipping their toes in the water. Just like, you go, no, you go.
One of them's going to have to go soon, though. It's kind of like they're going to have to, one of them's going to have to just go for it, because we're getting to the stage where you need the pre-orders in.
Yeah.
It's almost August. Like,
August.
Isn't this going to launch in like November or like December, something like that?
Well, there's even rumors that Xbox might even try and launch in October.
Oh, really?
So I did see them. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. There was rumors. This was probably a few weeks ago, so maybe things have changed, but they were trying to get into October if they could, just to try and get a small head start if they could. Because the PlayStation, you would assume...
I don't think that's a bad month. That'd work out fine.
Yeah, I think it's a smart move.
October is one of the best gaming months, usually. A lot of stuff usually comes out around there.
Yeah, I think so too, but I don't know. If I had to make a prediction right now, I don't think they will announce the price.
I think we're going to get a ton of games, possibly a release date, but that price, I don't think it's set in stone.
No, I don't think
until Sony announces.
Yeah, I agree with both of you, actually. I think it's a bit cat and mouse, isn't it? Each of them are waiting for the other to make the first move at the price, just so they could probably try and undercut in some sort of way. But I mean, the longer it goes on, I don't know who's going to make the plunge first, but I don't think we'll get a price either.
We know they've both, PlayStation and, I should say Sony and Microsoft, they've both got events in August, haven't they? I'm apparently. Like Sony have apparently got a state of play in early August.
They're doing another one? I
Yeah,
thought,
apparently early
the
August.
last thing they did was like it. But I guess
no,
not.
they're supposedly doing another one in August. That's the rumor, anyway. Just to show off. Apparently, there were some games that they held back from their show.
I mean, they would have had to. They showed off like a bunch of weird little indie games.
Yeah, they showed a lot of indie games. So you're thinking maybe they've got 3 or 4 more, maybe big games to show in that event, and maybe they reveal the price then. And we know Microsoft's probably we know they're going to have another event in August, probably to show off the Lockhart system.
Oh yeah, isn't that like a middle-ranged version?
A cheaper Series X, basically, that it won't be able to do like 4K and things like that, but it's
maybe like a 1440p machine, something like that.
I think a lot of people will go for that as well if they price it right. I think it could be
I might be one of those people.
Yeah,
because I think
high frame rates, 1440. There's a market for that, clearly.
If you don't care about, because you've got to remember, a lot of casual gamers, they're not going to care about having 4K 60. They don't. A lot of them don't even understand what it means for a start.
I know, right? Yeah. Like they're like, oh, we want our consoles to be more powerful. Yeah. Also, I want to pay $200 for it. A lot of them just don't get it. They just don't get it. It's like 14 teraflops, and they're going to be definitely complaining about the price, whatever it is, even though it stands up with like really nice computers, just based off the specs I've seen so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what do you two think about the price? I've always had in my head that they're both going to be 500 for the main SKUs, in my opinion, but I could be wrong on that.
I think that's a perfect price, but probably they're losing money on that price.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, 499. Yeah, 500 mark. I think.
Do you think it'll be for both, or do you think one will try and be a bit more aggressive? Like, do we think one will try and get to 399? I just can't see it.
I think maybe 449 at a push.
449 maybe
at a push. I
like just, a 450 maybe.
Yeah, if they're being super aggressive, that is.
I'm wondering if that's why PlayStation did the digital one, because maybe they can knock £50 $50 off it.
Like one without a disc drive.
Yeah, because that would save. It doesn't save loads of money, but that definitely saves a little bit. So maybe they're thinking as well. If you do the digital one cheaper, you're going to make money on the fact that all the games are going to be digital, so they're going to get more money off it.
Yeah.
Well, they do Blu-ray discs, so that's a decent amount to take out a Blu-ray player from a console.
Yeah,
save some space. It's a good idea. Yeah. Like I don't have a disc drive in my computer.
No,
had it for 2 years. Don't need one. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So. Yeah, I think 500 for the main SKUs, but I could see the digital PS5 being 50 cheaper, maybe. And then maybe the Lockhart will obviously be, probably 200 cheaper. I'd imagine that'll be 299 if they can get it to that.
They'll probably try and put it around the Xbox One base price.
Yeah. I must admit, if they do come out with the Lockhart being that sort of price, I'd probably get it, because we've discussed it on previous podcasts. Like I'm going to be going to the probably PS5 now. I think I've made my mind up, and the I've still got the OG Xbox One, so I'm lagging a.
I still have one too.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad it's still going. To be fair, but
honestly, it hasn't melted down yet. This thing
it's amazing.
It's a brick.
Beast. It's a brick, and there's like a half a fan in there. I don't understand how it hasn't just melted.
But to be fair, it's kept going, so I might be intrigued by the Lockhart if it is like $299. It's more affordable to then have both. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I do want to get your thoughts as well, guys, on what other games you think we're gonna get. I mean, I'll throw it out there. I'm really hoping to see something from Fable.
Yep, I have that on my list.
Yeah, that is one of the games. Please, I love the Fable franchise series, whatever wording you want to use, and I would love a new Fable. So much.
I hear it's going to be huge, like an Elder Scrolls sized type game that they're trying to compete with a Skyrim with Elder Scrolls 6. Which good luck.
I think your wishes are going to be. I think your wishes are going to be granted. I think it's pretty much certain that we're going to see Fable at the show. To be honest with you, I think it's probably a 99.9% chance. I think there's been too many rumors about it for too long.
Isn't that Playground Games, right?
Playground.
Yeah, who make the Forza Horizon series, which I mean, I absolutely love the Forza Horizon series. I think they're amazing games.
Same.
I think they're actually the best out there, to be honest, for that genre. I don't think there's anything better. I think people look at like Gran Turismo, but it's not on the same level for me as Forza.
There's just so much more in it compared to like the motorsport games. It's like so much more.
So much better. So they've got a good pedigree now. Can they make the transition from, to an RPG? That's going to be interesting to see. I think they've got the talent to do it. And I do think this is going to be, the game they want to kind of, I think this is going to be probably ending the show, Fable.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think it just makes sense to me to show, I think they'll have a lot of confidence in it. Well, I hope they have a lot of confidence in it anyway, to be able to show it at the end and maybe give I don't know if we'll see tons of gameplay, but probably a trailer for 30 seconds to a minute, just to get people hyped.
It'd be really nice to see what that gameplay looks like. But yeah, ending the show with Fable, that's a good idea because most of the time they'll start it off with Xbox or with Halo for Xbox.
Yeah, you think Halo
so
having the show.
Yeah, having another first party game at the end to wrap it up, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm definitely intrigued. So yeah, I hope we get that.
Just before you finish on that point, do you hope that it is more in the vein of a Witcher rather than the old Fable games in a way?
Well, I don't know.
Or a mixture of both, maybe a mixture.
Like Troy touched on it, the rumors are that it's going to be like a Elder Scrolls size game. Oops, hit the mic. Sorry, Elder Scrolls size game. But I don't know. I really like the old formula of Fable, and I know things have moved on, and most RPG games now need to be massive open worlds. But I don't know. I don't know how I'd sit because obviously I'm an original Fable guy, so I'd have to see how they do it. And before I could really make an honest opinion or give an honest opinion on it.
Still think you'll be able to kick chickens?
Oh yeah.
That's a classic.
I just hope the graphics are a bit more modern because Fable typically has a cartoony kind of oversaturated dark contrast and not super realistic character models. So it'd be interesting, what is the art style? Are they going classic Fable? What's up with that? Yeah, that should be cool.
That would be another interesting thing to see.
Will they rebrand it just like it's Fable? Or
I think so.
I
think it'll just be called Fable.
Yeah.
I just think it makes sense. It's a reboot. It's been 10 years since Fable 3, so
it's got to be around 10 years, yeah.
So I think a lot of people won't know what Fable is, don't forget, so I think they should just rebrand it as Fable and then just kind of start fresh really from there.
Yeah.
It feels like an MMO.
Oh no! That'd completely turn me off. They can't do that.
Yeah, I don't want that.
No.
Just quickly though, another game I want to briefly mention, because obviously it's related to my name. Do we think we'll see any Elden Ring?
Oh, Elden Ring from Software, right? Yes, I do think we will.
I agree.
Because they showed off Sekiro at an Xbox event back in 2016. That's from Software seems to have some sort of pedigree with Xbox. And didn't the remaster for what's it called? Demon Souls?
That was PlayStation 1. I think
that was PlayStation.
Are you thinking of Dark Souls 3?
They're remastering either the first Dark Souls or Demon Souls.
That's PlayStation. I think that's
only PlayStation.
Yeah. Because I think PlayStation have the rights to Demon Souls.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I don't think you'll be seeing that on Xbox, but you might be thinking of Dark Souls 3. They did show that off for the first time at an Xbox event.
Oh yeah, true.
I think it was back in 2015, maybe something like that.
Yeah, a long time ago.
But yeah, I agree. I think
it seems pretty early in production though. That's my
I don't think you can expect this game for a couple of years, but I do think it's about time we see it because the last time we saw it was at E3. Well, the first time and last time we saw it was at E3 last year. So it's obviously going to be a third-party game. So it will come to PlayStation as well, but obviously, clearly Xbox have a lot of marketing rights for this game, so they're going to want to push it. And the fact that George R. R. Martin's involved, they're going to want to I think you'll probably see his name all over the splash screens because
absolutely.
Why wouldn't you
utilize it?
Because that'll get casual gamers looking at it thinking, oh, what's this game by being collaborated with George R. R. Martin? So,
and he picked a fantastic title.
Because it's your second
name. Bias and all, but
no, I'm looking forward to it because I am I don't know, I wouldn't say I'm a hardcore fan of Dark Souls, but I definitely enjoy playing them. They're fun.
Those games are way too hard for me.
Yeah,
there's no story. That's my problem with them. Is there's no story and it makes me scream and rage quit every time. So I don't play those games anymore. I know that it'll piss me off.
Absolutely. I mean, the one that broke me was Sekiro. I couldn't. It was so hard.
Oh my god, that game.
I got
flashbacks.
I had flashbacks to just screaming on a live stream and just throwing my headphones and just leaving. The shit was. I'm sorry for swearing. That game was way too hard.
And there was a boss. I remember it was like a horse. It was like a guy on a horse. I just couldn't beat him for the life of me. I tried about 100 times.
Why do I keep saying same with you? I think that's exactly where my game would be if I booted it up now.
It was in like
the
a
horse dude in that big, the big arena.
Yeah. That I gave up. I was like, I got nowhere near killing. I think I got maybe half health was the best I ever did to him. But yeah, that made me give up. So I was like, that's too far. But to be fair, with Elden Ring, I feel like it might be a little bit easier.
If they're going to actually have a decent story that it wants players to progress through, hopefully it's slightly easier.
I kind of want them to have that Dark Souls magic, but maybe just tone it down a little bit. Just make it like maybe I'm not saying make it easy, but just make it a little bit easier so that more people can kind of grow into it. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing it because it looks promising. So we'll see on that one. But I'd say I'm like 75% confident we'll see it.
Yeah, I think we'll see something small, but we'll get something.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else is on your guys' list?
Well, for me, I want to see Hellblade 2 because that's a game we saw. That was revealed at it was the Game Awards, wasn't it? With Jeff Keighley, it was the Game Awards.
Yeah, that's like their like Xbox Series X, their showcase. Because they're going all out with the graphics on that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it looks amazing. I mean, that trailer we saw, they said it was running an engine as well, which is amazing, really, because that game looks incredible, really.
That looked film quality.
Yeah,
that trailer.
And I've got to say, the first Hellblade, I really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was really fun, really good game.
I got stuck on a few of the puzzles for way too long, but yeah, good game.
It was definitely
puzzles were like, I don't know, you figure it out.
Yeah, they were a little. They took a while, some of them, but I enjoyed the combat. I thought the tone of the game was really nice. It was definitely a limited game. You could tell it had budget constraints. But I feel like this game, I think I said, we talked about this, didn't we, a little bit, Luke, on one of the podcasts. We said, this could be Xbox's answer to God of War, in a way, for me, Hellblade. It's got that same sort of tone, same sort of vibe. If they can, I don't think the budget will be as high as God of War, but if they can get it somewhere close to the budget of that game, I think they could have a real hit on their hands with this game.
Yeah, kind of Nordic third-person action-adventure game. It all kind of lines up.
Yeah.
Dark themes.
Yeah.
Question for you guys. Do you guys think it's weird? We've kind of gone through what normally would be the E3 weeks and stuff like that, and we've seen nothing about a new Call of Duty. Just nothing.
Strange.
It is strange.
Yeah.
And like, I don't quite expect it to show up during this event because like they never ever show anything on the Xbox stage. Usually it's always PlayStation. Like a Black Ops, 5 or Call of Duty, whatever they're going to call it, seems odd not having it this late in summer.
There was that leak, wasn't there? There was a leak of the game of the new game on the Xbox store in, I don't know. It always seems to be a leak in some country where you didn't expect, like Bolivia or Argentina. Yeah. I can't remember where it was. It was somewhere.
I always see it in Australia. Australia is always leaking games.
I can't remember what country it was, but they leaked the code name of the game and it was called like Call of Duty Red Door or something. Or I might have that wrong. So if anyone, that might be wrong. It's something like Red Door or something, or it's just a code name. I don't think the game will be called that. But basically, people have said, "Oh, maybe Xbox have got the marketing back for Call of Duty," which would be interesting.
When I think of the glory days of COD, I think of Modern Warfare 2 on an Xbox. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, same.
It'd be smart if they actually did. And people
think that would be a smart move
with their marketing with PlayStation the past like years.
Yeah,
been like, oh, this mode is exclusive. Oh, these maps come way earlier. Yada yada yada. Like PC and Xbox players are like, guys, really? It's just a game. Can we just play it all?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Actually, you've touched on it. What was it? Was it Spec Ops on one of them that was like a year later? It was coming to Xbox. Like, what's the point then?
Yeah.
What is the point?
We didn't even play it.
Yeah,
when it did come out, we were pissed about it.
I don't like them practices really where they do things like content. Destiny did it as well with PlayStation where they had content a year early and it was like, I don't like God.
It was like 6 months like we had to wait from like PS4 to PC. Oh my God.
PS4 had like a couple of exclusive strikes, didn't they, and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't like this. But yeah, I think it's just interesting because do you two think it would be a smart move to get the COD marketing back, or do you think it's kind of like a bit of a waste of money at this point? Because everyone knows what COD is.
I think they should, just for like the classic nostalgia. and just having something. But then again, it's like you have Halo and Call of Duty paying both those marketing budgets, which are kind of clashing games.
Yeah, that would be a bit of a clash, wouldn't it? Because you'd assume they're trying to position Halo as obviously their big first-person shooter. Obviously, it's their game, obviously they're going to, but if they have Call of Duty, will that kind of overshadow Halo? I mean, I don't know. It'd be a risk, wouldn't it?
It would be. I'm not sure. If I'm being brutally honest, I'm not sure what to expect. We, like Troy touched on, it's been a while and we haven't heard anything, which is really odd. So maybe
not even like an announcement name.
Nope.
No, strange.
Nothing. Just a bunch of leaks that who knows if they're true. Like nothing.
It would be. I'm going to say it's probably a low chance of it appearing at the Xbox event, just because of historically we know the PlayStation marketing. But I wouldn't rule it out completely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if PlayStation has another event in August, like you were saying,
they could. Yeah, they could
probably there
announce it there.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
True.
Yeah.
How about you, Troy? What else have you got on your list?
This one's kind of. I know that there will be a Batman game. How do I say this? I'm legally not allowed to talk about one of those Batman games.
Right. Okay.
Literally all I can say.
Right. Well,
but I am allowed to talk about Rocksteady though. Rocksteady, I do believe, is making a game, but it's not Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that was the rumor, wasn't it?
It's not. I can't talk. Yeah. There's a lot of play testing out in Washington.
Right.
I believe we will get the WB Montreal game, the Court of the Owls game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And possibly a different group spin-off game from somebody else. But I don't think we'll have a Rocksteady anything this year.
Okay.
I think they're in the process of being bought out by Microsoft, WB Games.
Yeah, I did hear that rumor.
Yeah, massive rumor, that, yeah.
And it would make sense because a lot of Warner Brothers is in Kirkland or Bellevue or Redmond, all right where Xbox is, like even in the same building some of the time.
Yeah.
So
how much? Yeah, how much? I was going to say, how much credence do you give to that to the sort of rumor about WB? Because that's obviously been, at first it was hinted. Obviously, we know they were going to be bought by someone because obviously Warner Brothers were pulling out, but there was rumors about EA, Activision. There was even Take-Two, and it was like, but then a couple of weeks later, it was like, oh, actually, Xbox has added to that list now. They're also interested. So, see, to me, I think it would make sense for Xbox to buy them because for Game Pass, really. I think Game Pass is the reason because we all know Xbox needs more games on Game Pass.
And they literally use Batman as marketing material for Game Pass.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
that's true.
A lot of people were saying EA just because EA has their own Game Pass, whatever it's called. EA
Access.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Used to drain $5 from my account every month without me knowing. I've signed up for that once, forgot about it. But yeah, they bought like the access to like 5 Batman games. They have like the Lego Batmans, all the Arkhams, Origins, and Knight. So I mean, if Xbox buys them, will those get ripped from access? Probably. But I don't see EA buying Warner Brothers. That seems like a weird one.
I've always thought the most likely one, apart from Microsoft, would probably be Activision, to be honest with you.
Activision buying WB?
Yeah. I could see it because...
I could see it too.
Yeah. I'm not sure about Take-Two. Not sure about that one. Like you said, EA doesn't make much sense either. I think Activision would make sense.
You got to think that Warner Brothers has Lord of the Rings as well as... what's the other one that we forget? They own the rights to Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I want that Harry Potter game.
Same.
Yeah.
Third-person RPG Harry Potter game. Take my money.
Yeah,
I hope that's real.
Exactly.
I really hope that is real. Because,
hey, that'd be an amazing announcement.
Yeah.
What are the chances?
But just in general, Warner Brothers, I think Microsoft buying them would make sense because you're getting quite a lot of studios there. You're getting Rocksteady, you're getting WB Montreal, you're getting
Monolith. You get
Monolith. Who are the people that made the Lego TT games or something? The people that made the Lego games.
Must admit, I'm not sure.
Can't remember the name of them, but I know you'd get the Lego game makers as well in that. And obviously...
would that be all of the Lego games or just Lego Batman and stuff?
You get all the Lego properties because they make the... I can't remember what they're called. They're called TT games, I think, or something, but they make all the Lego games. And you'd obviously also get NetherRealm.
Oh, yeah, NetherRealm. Yeah, what are they doing next?
Well, I actually think NetherRealm's the one that makes the most sense for Microsoft to buy.
Have
to
Mortal
have
Kombat as an exclusive.
Mortal
have
Kombat. You could do
Injustice.
things like Killer Instinct then as well, like some sort of crossover game. You could even get them working on Killer Instinct. So
to be honest, it seems like a really good deal for Xbox.
£4 billion is a lot of money. If that's the rumored amount, $4 billion.
$4 billion?
Yeah, that was the rumor.
That is
it's
quite
a lot,
hefty. It's
a lot of cash, but at the same time, I don't think Microsoft mind losing a bit of money on it, because if it gains them money long term with Game Pass, which I think it would, if they could exclusively get some of those games on Game Pass, then.
But imagine a new Batman Arkham coming out and not being on PlayStation. That's huge exclusive.
Yeah,
that's
that
huge.
Would be.
That just gave me goosebumps.
Well, the thing about that is as well, Microsoft are in a great position. They could actually choose which ones they want to keep exclusive and which ones they don't. They could say, okay, you can have the Batman game, but you're not having this game. They can kind of pick and choose if they want, depending on how they feel. Because obviously, they would get any money. If the next Batman's being sold on PlayStation, Microsoft are getting all the money for it. So they're getting money anyway.
Also true, yeah.
So they might just pick and choose which ones they keep exclusive. But yeah, I think I'd like to see this WB Montreal Batman game get revealed at this event. I think it's about time we saw Batman.
And Court of the Owls is a perfect villain. I don't know if you guys ever read.
I watched Gotham.
Okay, yeah, they pop in a bit. But yeah, they're just like such an interesting and deep villain to actually do in a Batman game, because they're like tied into the politics, and they haven't been done much really at all, besides in few TV shows and stuff. But yeah,
I think it'd be a good idea, and I just think we want to see Batman now. It's been 5 years since Arkham Knight. I've got to be honest, Arkham Knight's my least favorite one.
Same. I made a whole documentary on those games
because of the Batmobile.
That Batmobile.
I knew you were going there.
I hate it.
The Bat
It put me off finishing the game. I didn't even finish.
Bat tank as well. Yeah.
I did like those Riddler races though. Those were fun.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I like those for whatever reason.
But my favorite one's still Arkham Asylum. I still think that's the best one. It was the most focused one. For me, it had the best story. I liked Arkham City as well, but that a little bit too open for me. But
the tone of Arkham Asylum is like, it's perfect. It's straight out of like the animated series.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Arkham Asylum. I love that game. But yeah, I'd like WB Montreal to make a game more linear like that. But I have a feeling the game we're going to get is probably more like Arkham City or Arkham Knight. Yeah. I think it's going to be more open, just because that sells more these days, doesn't it? The sort of open world. That's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, what I do for some more linear games. Just story driven. Yeah.
Sign me up with a Mass Effect 2 style game. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easy sell there.
Yeah.
It would be a big thing for them.
Games were simple back then.
Yeah, they were. They were.
It would definitely be big for them to have if they could somehow get marketing rights for that game or something. It'd be big. Or like you said, if they're buying them, then they'd automatically have the rights. But I don't think we'll hear anything about that sort of acquisition at the show. I can't see them announcing that at the show. I think it's going to be something that probably takes a while to go through.
They kind of did that last year, like a ton. They're like, we bought this, we bought that, we bought Coalition, we bought, who else did they buy? All sorts of, the Initiative.
Yeah, they bought a lot.
They're supposed to have a new game.
Yeah, the Initiative, that's an interesting one. I guess we should probably come on to that, because we know that's the studio that's been built from the ground up.
I've heard that, yeah.
I mean, I've got a feeling we won't find out at this event. I don't think it'll be shown personally at this event. I don't know what you two think.
Me neither. If it is a Perfect Dark Zero game, I don't really think that's even a big enough title to even rebrand, let alone we're this quadruple A company. We're making Perfect Dark Zero. Woohoo! Who cares?
I think if it was going to be a Perfect Dark game, it'd have to be a complete reboot.
Yeah.
It'd have to be something completely different. And I think if they are doing that, I think it will be a complete reboot. I don't think we'll see much from the old Perfect Dark games at all. I think it'll just be a name only, personally. So,
to have.
But again, I think it's too early. They were still hiring people even last year. So I don't know. I don't think we'll see that yet. That'll probably be something we see maybe next year. But I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to see it, whatever they're working on, but I just don't think we will.
No, I don't.
No.
What do you guys think about Bethesda? Are they just going to be completely quiet this entire time?
I know we need to see it. I want to see Starfield.
Exactly. Yeah. Where's Starfield at? Like
that's supposed to be, Bethesda's answer to Mass Effect. So,
which I'm so down for. Let me see what that looks like. At least, like, give me a teaser.
Yeah.
Like they just had like a spaceship rotating in the sky and a logo. It's like, okay, it tells me not a single thing.
Well, it's funny
besides
because
space.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you think of Bethesda making a Mass Effect type game, and you're thinking, well, it's going to be like Fallout in space, which I think would be awesome. But I guess we've already kind of seen that with Outer Worlds a little bit.
Yeah, and it wasn't the best.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good game, but you could tell again it was limited by budgets.
I couldn't get into that. Could not get into it.
Yeah,
it just wasn't gripping for me. It was just pretty expected.
Yeah,
everything.
I thought that they did the story really well, which Obsidian always do.
Yeah, I like the characters.
The story beats and characters. Some of the characters are awesome. Yeah, the combat wasn't the best.
It's just all right.
The environments were poor. They weren't great. They were all the same sort of environment each time, but
little hub in the middle and then Baron on the outside.
Yeah, so but just going back to Bethesda, yeah, I'd love to see Starfield, and Bethesda have usually had a good relationship with Xbox. However,
Todd Howard came out in a leather jacket. Remember?
Yeah.
That was on the Xbox stage, wasn't it?
He's a funny guy, but he's an interesting guy. But as we saw from the PlayStation event, was it Deathloop and that Ghostwire Tokyo? They're actually timed exclusives on PlayStation. Have Bethesda got into bed with Sony? Maybe. I don't know. Because that seems very odd, but I don't know. It's a strange one. I'd love to see it. I think it's about the right time. How long have Bethesda been quiet about these games now?
Proper long time, and we know that Elder Scrolls 6 is way far off.
So that's years away. I think we're talking 5 probably plus years away for that game. But they announced both at the same time, didn't they? They announced Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 at the same time. But and I don't know if you remember how bad the announcement was for Elder Scrolls 6. It was a terrible just trailer it was like 5 seconds long, just basically saying, yeah, we're making it.
Yeah, we're going to music.
Like, far too early. Too early. But yeah,
at least that trailer we could tell a little bit about the game, like the setting. It looked like Hammerfell or whatever.
Yeah.
The Starfield teaser was just absolutely nothing. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a minute. What were you about to say, Luke?
Oh, no, nothing really. I'm just I'm intrigued to see what they do with it. Obviously, anything that is in space, space setting, I'm interested in because it always intrigues me, that setting. But I don't know, I'm always a little bit worried with Bethesda and that engine, especially after Fallout 76 and stuff. I want them to upgrade that so badly. I'm sick of that sort of style. It just feels clunky to me.
They literally did not optimize that at all for PC. If you get that, there's a program on PC called NVIDIA Profile Inspector where you can change some deep settings on games. And usually when you pick up a game and you open up that program, you'll see all these different settings that the developers have changed to make it run better. When you open up Fallout 76, it's a naked profile. They didn't change a single setting in NVIDIA. It's so weird. I've never seen it in my life.
That is
game
weird.
Runs like dog booty. Runs horrible.
I wonder why they decided to do that.
I don't know, but I couldn't fix
it. Mate, it's taken a lot of people to fix that game, I think. Yeah.
What do we think about? I guess we touched on Obsidian with Outer Worlds, but do we expect Obsidian to show off their new RPG?
Have they announced that they're making one?
Yeah, they've got one in production. Obviously, they did that Grounded game, didn't they? It was like a side project.
Yeah, I tried the demo of that, and it is broken. Weird. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the demo's on Steam. It's kind of...
To be fair, I think that is a side project. They've not got many people on that. That's kind of just a little side project. So, they definitely have an RPG in the works. A lot of people are saying, is it the Outer Worlds 2? Is it something different? Is it a new IP? I don't know. I don't know what I'd like to see. I'd like to see another Outer Worlds, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, sold well. I mean, I don't think many people were like, screw this game. I don't ever want to play this again. It's just like either you liked it or it was just all right. Yeah.
I'd like to see an Outer Worlds just with a bigger budget, basically. I mean, I assume we've all
bigger environmental budget for sure. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I assume we've all played Fallout New Vegas. I know you didn't play it much, Luke. You played it a little bit, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I played that one.
I really love that game, New Vegas. I think it's a brilliant Fallout game. So I'd like to see something on those sort of lines with Outer Worlds too. because I really enjoyed Outer Worlds. It's just that, like we mentioned before, it didn't have a massive budget. So, but maybe it'll be something new entirely. Obsidian's obviously was a big purchase for Microsoft, wasn't it? So I assume they'll want to show their game off.
If it's ready, they should.
If they got something if they got something to show it.
But big fan of Obsidian, so I'd love to see that. What about Rare as well? Because obviously they announced that Everwild game at E3 last year.
Hell is Rare, man? I have no idea what to even say about Rare.
Yeah,
no clue. They're done.
They've obviously got Sea of Thieves, which is they're going to carry on with next gen, aren't they? They're going to keep it going. You'd assume.
I mean, Sea of Thieves in 2018, they could straight up do a sequel. That game is popular enough to do a sequel.
They could do. I mean,
it'll probably just be a big expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they don't show anything with Sea of Thieves, I've got to be honest with you. But they did do that Everwild game. Well, they're making that Everwild game, which was, I don't know if you remember the trailer for it. It was kind of all the animals and it looked quite cutesy sort of thing, didn't it?
I must admit, I do not remember that.
It.
Nope.
E3
I don't recall either, no.
Yeah, it's called Everwild. I think we'll see it. I don't know what sort of game it's going to be, but I think we'll see that there. I'm trying to think who else. I'm trying to think of other third party, because they did say there is going to be some third party there.
I mean, I think a lot of that's going to be like them showing off the optimized for Series X. So stuff that we got trailers for and didn't get proper gameplay of. Like we'll probably see Dirt 5 again. Maybe Watch Dogs gameplay in 4K possibly. What else? Assassin's Creed. Maybe they'll do an extended demo, but I doubt they will because they already Ubisoft put out a lot of gameplay.
Yeah.
Maybe something from Compulsion Games. We Happy Few. They haven't made a game since 2016?
Yeah, Microsoft bought them, didn't they? Along with all the others a couple of years ago. That's it. I gotta be honest, that's more of an indie studio, really, isn't it? So I'm not as interested in them because I feel like whatever they make is probably going to be a AA game. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It might be a really good AA game, but I don't know. They'd have to really surprise me for it to interest me. I think Compulsion.
Mm-hmm.
Never really. They made that Contrast game, I think, didn't they?
Yep, it did.
I never played it. It didn't look very interesting to me. I don't know if it was any good or not, but yeah, we'd have to see on that one. I'm trying to think really of the third parties that could be there.
There's a few games that come out pretty soon after the conference, like Skater XL comes out days after. Wasteland 3 comes out in August, so we might see.
Oh, that's their game, isn't it? Yeah, they'll probably show that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, what do we think then? Do we think this event's going to be a success, or do you think it's going to be like another Inside Xbox where we were not impressed, to say the least?
I mean, if they show off a decent amount of Halo Infinite, it would be hard for it not to be a success. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I've heard we're going to get about an hour's worth of gameplay between all the games. So, I mean, I'll be sitting here. If it doesn't make me cry, it wasn't a success. So give me some nice trailers and gameplay and I'll be happy.
I hope the production values are good. I don't want to be seeing what we saw in that May event with the webcams. Them horrible.
Yeah, that was terrible. And the stream was blurry. The stream was literally blurry.
Aaron Greenberg and showing off his Series X fridge, and it was like, what am I watching? What am I watching?
I don't want any chuffa. Did you guys watch the EA event where they just they just waffled for 45 minutes and showed off I don't know.
I've got to say,
2 minutes of gameplay.
Just a quick side note about that EA event. That was one of the worst events I've ever watched.
I've ever seen in my life. I live streamed that. You can just see me go.
It was
gameplay.
Yeah.
Gameplay.
It wasn't good. But
and then they're like, "Oh, Skate 4," and that should make me happy.
And that was it.
Yeah,
they didn't even show off Battlefield. They didn't even show off Battlefield.
Nothing. But yeah, I think overall it's extremely important for Xbox this event. I've got to be honest, I am really looking forward to Halo and I want to see a good chunk of it, but that won't be enough for me. I need to see a lot more than just Halo, and even more than just Halo and Fable. I need to see more, personally. I think it's, they've bought all these studios, they've positioned themselves well with Game Pass. If they don't succeed now, are they ever going to succeed? That would be my question. So I want to see, 5 to 6 compelling first-party games from them. Whether we get that many, I don't know, but that'd be for me anyway. So that's what I've got to say about it. But I guess
so demands nothing but the best.
I do. I do demand the best because, to be honest, PlayStation this generation have given me close to being the best you can get.
Yeah.
So why do we not expect the same from Microsoft? They're a richer company than Sony. They've got more resources than Sony.
Don't. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Don't expect it.
we should expect the best. And I'm going into, I don't know about you two, I'm going into this event with high expectations now. And I know people say, oh, don't do that, like you're just going to disappoint yourself. But I think with an Xbox event, if I don't go into this one with high expectations, when am I ever going to have high expectations for them again? So I am going to go into it expecting a lot. And if I don't get what I want, then I'll say it's a disappointment.
Enough, mate. You know, you want the best.
You, Luke?
Well,
what's your sort of like expectation for it?
I'm a little bit easier to please, I think. Even though I don't, I'm intrigued to see Halo, even though I'm not a fan. You know, see what they've done with that. But other than that, yeah, I want to see a bit of Fable and show me some games that intrigue me. I don't need 5 to 6, probably just 2 or 3, and I'm like, oh yeah, that looks good, I'd play that, then I'd be happy. But yeah, I'm definitely easier to please on that side of things. So, you know, my expectations as well aren't that high. After Inside Xbox, I think I was a little bit too like, oh, I think this is going to be really good actually, we're going to get some good games on the show here, but never really materialized. So I'm going to lower my expectations for this one. How about you, Troy?
I'm kind of just, I think I know what's going to happen pretty much, but I just like, I'm tired of being like, oh, this is going to happen, and kind of knowing it. Like, I want to be surprised a little bit at some of this stuff. Like, show me a badass trailer of a unannounced Batman game or something, and don't tell me until the end. Yeah. Just surprise me. Make me happy and scream.
I think that's what we all want to see. I think I think you've made a really good point there, because a lot of these shows, even the PlayStation show in a way, I enjoyed that PlayStation event. I thought they did a really good job, but I wasn't surprised by anything there.
Yeah, nothing was like, oh my God, what is that?
Yeah.
I need to play.
And to be fair, Sony have probably earned that right, because they did a lot of surprises this generation that were really good, but it's time for Microsoft now. It's time for them to
be fair,
it's time for them to put up or shut up, isn't it? Put up or shut up time.
It is harder these days to surprise. I find, with the leaks, social media, the way it is. But I'm the same. I would just love if something just dropped out on social media the way it is. But I'm the same. I would just love if something just dropped out of nowhere and you're like, oh my God, what is that? That looks amazing. Like, yeah, I'm all for that. And if somehow they could do that, then yeah, definitely. But yeah, that does bring an end to the podcast. So thanks for listening as always. And if you are listening to us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts below on what we've covered today. What do you think we'll see from the Xbox event? And if you are listening to us on any audio platforms, please leave us a nice review and pass on the pod. You can also follow the podcast on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at ChetReachPod. All links are in the description below. And yeah, also go and subscribe to Troy's channel, THC. I'll put the link in the description below. But yeah, where can people find you on socials, Troy?
You can subscribe to my YouTube channel by going to www.youtube.com/TROYCHRIEST, like Jesus Christ with an E in the middle. Go subscribe to THC. Go pop into one of my live streams. And yeah, boys, thank you for having me. Luke, Sud, you guys
it's been great.
Chill dudes. Nice chat.
Enjoyed having you on. It's been a good discussion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We really enjoyed it. And all links into THC's socials and YouTube will be in the link description below. So definitely go and check him out and give him a subscribe for sure. And if you ever want to come back on the pod, you've got an open invite. So more than welcome to rejoin in the future.
Yeah, I'm down whenever.
Cool.
Let me know.
Sounds good. Cool. And you can also follow me and Sud on social media. Where can people find you, Sud?
It's just on Twitter for me, so it's at David10Spud.
And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Leld, LEL3Ds, add a 9am for Instagram. But anyway, thanks for joining me, boys. Have a good week, and we'll look forward to this event. So, bye, guys.
Bye-bye.